Already?
That's how we're starting the show.
Guys, Nadege just came for me.
Came for it.
Guys, we have dynamic guests in the house, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Very.
I wasn't expecting that.
Listen, I told you, don't let her pearls fool you.
So
She
here's
just
the
stood
story.
proper.
Here's the
That's all.
story behind the pearls. So I said, hey guys, in a second, Wendy's going to give me the lowdown on, what I can and can't say, if there's any rules. So Wendy busts out, oh, there are no rules. I said, but how can that be? She's wearing pearls. Usually people with pearls have rules, right? If you see somebody with pearls, don't you think like other English, proper, drinking tea?
Yes,
don't
proper.
kiss.
Yes, but I know Nadege.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And as you just heard her come for me,
She
being
did.
a little one,
Yeah.
as in small,
Yeah.
short,
Yeah.
height challenge,
Wow.
vertically inclined.
Wow. Well, welcome to our show, Nadege.
Hi.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yes,
I'm
she's
happy to be here.
one of two financial experts.
Yes.
And we have to the
Is it
left,
to the right, to the left?
left, right.
Yasso.
We have Detrone. And Detrone is also a financial expert.
We got some experts in the building, y'all.
Yes, we do. Can you oh wait, hold on. Sorry. Cabeza says grande. Sorry.
Oh.
I'm short with a big head. Sorry, guys.
But she's cute. You look cute,
She
bestie.
is cute.
Yeah.
Always has been.
Eyebrows are popping today.
Nadege has
With her
something
natural hair,
nice.
short hair, dreads, no matter what, Wendy's always cute.
Well, thank you, Nadege, and so are you, my beautiful love.
Thank you.
This was a moment.
Yeah.
This was special.
You know, we're like Haitian by...
Oh, God.
I'm not Haitian. I've just been penetrated by them. I love Haitian men.
This is
Stop
true.
messing.
It makes me feel so good to hear you finally admit that. I was wondering when in
said
this
that.
podcast series
Oh,
were
in the
you
podcast.
going to admit that you are penetrated by Haitians?
Yeah.
This is our moment.
So I
This
kind of
is
feel like
the
I am
moment.
Haitian.
Yeah, by insertion.
I always
By
say I'm
injection.
Haitian by penetration.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys. So welcome our guests to episode 15.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's that in Spanish? The una, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, quince.
15.
Episode quince.
Because I was gonna wait. Uno, dos, tres. Hold on. Sorry.
Yeah, it wouldn't have happened if we didn't have our help.
Say.
Yeah.
I feel like it got to 15 past. I feel like just like 2 weeks ago, Wendy made the first post about watching the podcast.
Right.
I know the
And
time
now
just
it's at 15 already.
Right.
Yeah. Can you believe
And we
that?
stuck through it.
Every week.
Every week.
Every week.
Every week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So welcome guys to
Podcast These Nuts. Hey guys.
Hey guys, it's your girl Wendy.
And your girl Jodie.
Welcome guys.
What's going on, y'all?
So the title of today's show is Be Smart, Save Your Coins. Okay? So we're going to dive into that. And that's why we have two financial experts here today, because we want to talk about securing your bag.
You know what the perfectness of the timing with this, because you know these hoes just got their tax
They
return.
income tax. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Do they
people
still
get
have
real
it?
I mean,
ignorant.
what month are we in?
What month are we? It's probably gone by
No, because
Say,
tax
do
day
they
is
still
April
have it?
15th.
April 15th, but some people already got their checks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is perfect timing because maybe we can save some of these souls out here.
Yes. Y'all save
Yeah.
them tax coins.
Yeah.
But we have experts, so don't listen
do.
to us. We have experts,
Yeah.
okay? And I learned my whole thing about being fiscally responsible from her. So,
You're a good
let's
best
pause
friend.
on mushy. She's so corny, y'all. I mean, not corny. Oh, tap. Wait, pause. Rewind. She's so amazing, guys. And she taught me fiscal responsibility.
I did.
And again, we have experts here to dive in a little bit more. But we, as per usual, we like to talk about what happened last week.
Yes.
Right? So last week, we touched a little bit on colorism.
We did.
Wanting to understand if the term was being used correctly.
Yeah.
So, of course, as with most shows, you know, there were two different sides of it. One talking about true colorism and being victim of that sort of It's almost like a form of racism, but that discrimination that happens just solely based on skin tone. And then we also looked at the other side of it, people who bully people, and people are really dealing with self-esteem issues versus true colorism as it relates to being discriminated against. So of course, we usually fall into the realm of mental health, and people needed to
for sure
to heal,
for sure,
so that topic kind of touched on that as well.
For sure.
So that was episode 15. So go back, check it out if you haven't seen it already. Now guys, don't forget to ask these nuts, y'all.
Ask these nuts.
Hashtag
ask
these nuts. You got a question, you got a show idea, you got a topic. Don't forget to ask us, y'all. Drop something in the comments. Visit our website.
Ask these nuts.
Instagram.
I'm the background dancer.
She just made up a Ask These Nuts dance. Okay?
I did.
She was just in the zone, y'all.
It's official.
So don't forget to Ask These Nuts.
Listen, we want to be able to be the voice for you people out there, for those deep down things that you question but don't really want anybody to know that you question.
Tell us, because we want to know your business.
We got you. Ask These Nuts.
Yeah.
And we will spread it. We will give you our opinion on it and even have a whole damn show about it.
Yes, we will.
I don't know.
Actually, next week's show is going to be based on someone asking these nuts.
Look at that. Look at that. The Bible said, ask and you shall receive.
And you shall receive. So, yes,
right here.
Episode 16 is going to be dedicated to a suggestion that we got from one of our viewers. So, shout out to you for sending us that view, Chevy. Thank you. We appreciate you. So, that'll be episode 16, y'all.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, definitely. For sure, for sure. So, getting into the topic for this episode.
Yeah, let's get into
being financially sound.
Let me ask you a question. Right? And I know that this was based off of kind of the reality show that you saw. But even before the reality show, what are your thoughts right now of people and their spending habits? What you really think is going on?
Most people have terrible spending habits.
Yeah.
Most people are living check to check. Some could be due to true and real financial hardships like sickness and, huge hospital bills, may have been laid off, things of that nature. But beyond, those extreme examples, most people, because you even have people with no children,
out here struggling,
who are struggling and probably shouldn't be. While things could be tight, I don't think so many people should be struggling the way that they are. And I think that it has a lot to do with poor financial habits, poor financial planning, overspending,
no planning,
financial planning,
exactly. No planning at all, you know, and just kind of not having their priorities straight. There's people who would rather have that new pair of Jordans versus taking that money and putting it away in a savings account. They don't even
consider them getting Jordans as a problem. Like, that's not even a part of their financial issue equation. Right. It's like, oh no, those Jordans, I have to get them. Let's not even talk about that.
No savings. Or if the savings is very low, next to nothing. Checking account isn't heavy and steady. Like your checking account can, for the most, balance out or pay all your bills for the month without you having to worry when you get paid. Like, sometimes I forget, like when I get paid, it's like a bonus, some extra money was deposited in my account versus having to worry about the next time that I get paid.
Or being 100% reliant upon paying what sustains you on that check.
Right.
Only. That's scary.
Yeah.
That's scary.
It is very, like, those are the things that scare me.
Yeah.
Not being able to pay my bills or pay my bills later. Like, I'm the kind of person, I don't care what number's calling me, I will answer the phone, because if you think I owe you money, I want to know. I am not hiding from you. I want to know who you are and how much you think I owe you. So we could talk about this. Okay? I work some shit out. Most things you can negotiate. Right. So, I couldn't imagine.
Yeah. So you said that it was a reality show. So, I'm not really hip on the reality show. So break me in. What was the show about?
Listen, I will not hide the fact that I love to watch crazy ass reality shows that teach me nothing in life.
Not a goddamn thing.
Not a goddamn thing.
But you know what?
It gave you an idea.
They're entertaining. They're entertaining, and
They gave you a good idea.
It gives me ideas.
Right.
I literally, for the most part, pick the topics that we're going to discuss based on these shows that I watch or songs that I listen to or things that I hear. You know, there's usually a core or bigger issue there somewhere to explore. So in Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I'm so sad that they are now at the reunion phase. I love them. I'm sorry.
Already?
Yes. It seems like the season just started. It really felt like the season just started. But no,
how many shows are in the season?
Episode 1 of the reunion show aired last night. Yeah.
What? So it's like what, 6 shows for the episode? Or?
I didn't look, but I want to say it was in the teens, maybe 15, 16. I don't know.
Yeah. You don't watch
I DVR it. I don't watch it when it comes out, but I have a day where I sit down and
hip-hop. That's my guilty pleasure.
What? Which one?
Love and hip hop. Every franchise. That's my guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
But I would think a normal season of any show should be like 10 episodes
at least. Right?
Yeah, I would think so.
It went by fast.
It just went by really fast, but I'm sure it was in the teens. So they are in the reunion phase, but towards the end of the season, Marlo being Shady Boots and Shady Boots towards Eva. Her and Eva go back and forth. Her and Eva Marcille go back and forth all the time. And Marlo was serving Nene all kinds of tea. And letting her know that Ava's financial situation ain't quite what y'all think it is. Y'all know, y'all see her on this show.
And her husband is a lawyer.
Housewives of Atlanta, but apparently he ain't got no money.
A lawyer?
I believe her husband is a lawyer.
And I know he recently ran for mayor.
R&B singer in what, the 90s? Michael Sterling?
He recently ran for mayor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yes, he is an attorney.
Yeah.
And apparently business isn't booming right now.
Oh, wow.
Some people don't need his services, apparently. His services are not needed, guys. So as a result, they're saying that the money ain't flowing in for him.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
And then Ava, they're saying that
she hadn't really built her empire enough.
The home that we're seeing on the show is not her home. Apparently it belongs to somebody else. Now we do know a lot of these reality shows exactly. I was gonna say that a lot of these reality shows that is common.
And
they
use someone else's house.
Yes, that they use someone else's house.
I know Steve and Jocelyn used to rent houses all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The housewives, however, pride themselves in having these big lavish homes, so they show their actual homes on the show, at least in Atlanta. And so they were shading her for that. Now, Eva says, look, I don't care what these hoes say. I know where this is coming from, okay? Apparently her and one of her bridesmaids or a couple of the bridesmaids, a maid of honor, fell out after her wedding. And they're going around spreading her business. Right. So those who want to hear it are receiving it and going around and telling other people. So they were spreading her business and talking about how her real home is raggedy.
Wow.
Tore down. That's why she really can't show it on the show. She moves around from home to home. Basically, why doesn't she own a big mansion? Why is she moving from rented home to rented home? What's up with that? If you got dough, then you shouldn't need to do that.
Right.
So one of the ladies told Eva at an event what happened, what people were saying. She got mad. She left. Basically saying, look, I don't have to explain myself to none of y'all. Nene called her.
Which
is true, yeah.
Absolutely.
They don't pay her bills.
Hello. Nene called her, got her to come back to the restaurant, and Eva agreed to talk to her one-on-one and basically said, look, that is not the case. I don't give two shits what people have to say.
Right.
The reason why I move around is because of my ex. So she says, and the husband says, you don't know the gravity of the issue with him. We have to move around, and that could truly be the reality. I mean, that's what they said it is. They have to move around for their safety.
So then stop posting so damn much on social media. She's really not moving like somebody that's trying to protect her identity. She's not.
But she claims that's why she has to.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. If you post all your locations,
all your vacations, all the different places.
And I believe one of the girls said that.
Yeah, like that doesn't
point, Jodie.
that doesn't match for me.
Yeah.
It doesn't match for me
Maybe
at all.
But back home. And this was after the fact. That's where I was.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. But yeah, I want to say I felt like I heard that point as well. But yeah, she's saying that is her reality, and that's why she's in the situation that she's in. So when I heard them shading her about her financial situation, I thought it was a little low.
Right.
Because if someone is struggling,
why would you do that?
Why would you embarrass them?
Why would you do that?
Why would you do that? Even if you're not friends.
Right.
You're on a television show.
Right.
You know, have a little bit of decency and humility. I get that. Like for Marlo, you don't necessarily showcase your husband or relationship on the show. But, you know, she has a whole family. She has a whole show. You know, she's on this show doing her thing. First season, I believe it's the first season that she's on. No, second season. Still fairly new to the cast. Like, why would you shame her and embarrass her?
Second season?
No. Eva.
Eva, yeah. Because Marlo's been on for a good minute. Not as a feature, but as a best friend of somebody.
Yeah, best friend of
maybe Marlo's trying to make sure she stays on the show. Isn't that how you stay on these shows?
Keeping the storyline,
creating drama.
Yeah.
You bring the drama.
Yeah. Well, I actually worked for a company that did it, the reality shows, and that's what made me really kind of stop watching them.
She was in Atlanta, during a taping of Love and Hip Hop.
Yeah, it was with the company that I worked for at the time, and everything is fake. Everything. They put these things together. They plot these things together. They have people that manipulate the situations and instigate situations and so, you know, for bonuses, you know, listen, this is going to cost some tea, but extra $25,000 on your check if you're willing to cause this kind of drama. And some of it, of course, crossed over into their personal and became very real for them, you know, but it's not. It's fake. It's fake.
Yeah,
it's fake.
I think a lot of us knew that to some level. But when she told me what happened, I was like, "Wow,
crushed.
This is." I didn't think it was to that degree. Like she was telling me it was a studio. It was supposed to be like a concert or whatever. They were telling the people when to clap, when to say that they enjoyed the music, like down to that level of scriptedness.
So you were thinking scripted like I thought, like, you know, let's exaggerate the fight a little bit more than what it really was, you know, get a little louder than you normally would, but you know, the gist of what's going on is
for the most part is real.
But what Jodie is saying is that it's
not even total. It's scripted reality TV. It's what it is. Real in that they're not necessarily paid actors going under they're not playing a character. Well, actually, I guess the characters themselves, right?
They basically sold their self to sold their souls, really.
Yeah, and I know this is going like way off topic, but like even look at Rashida and Kirk. I don't know if you watched that show.
I do. Okay. That I did see.
Yeah, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta.
That was
terrible. Like he had a whole human being. Yeah, that's their storyline.
Yeah,
him cheating.
Yeah,
she's an artist, a business owner. Yes. Why couldn't the storyline been about that?
Yeah,
but is that part scripted? Like the baby's real, like he's there.
Oh no, baby is real. But that was their storyline. Those are the
incentives that I'm talking about. You know, how far are you willing to go? How far are you willing to go?
I don't know if I would want to air that, you know. But I guess if they say we keeping it real, you know, whatever.
Yeah. I personally think that a young lady was placed there, but anyway, that's a whole nother show.
So because of that, so because of hearing about the whole thing about Eva and this whole financial struggle, you know, of course we talk about it a lot. Where you know, of course, you see a lot of people on the gram fronting on the gram like, oh, no, that bitch is broke, okay?
Because she's in my girlfriend's DMs asking for a job, please.
Okay. Setting up a whole GoFundMe account, but you out here shopping. And
the problem with not just with what's going on with Eva and the people that you see on the gram is that so many people are consumed with looking wealthy rather than being wealthy.
Hello.
Amen.
Like, I watched a clip just so I can, you know, see what happened on the Real Housewives, and they were referencing her husband not having a new car. And I'm sitting there thinking, Bill Gates drives an Accord and a Prius.
You better tell him.
And he has like real coins.
Yeah.
And you guys are talking about the fact that her husband's Mustang isn't brand new.
Right.
It's the whole society is just consumed with looking wealthy and not being wealthy. And that's the problem. That's where the problem lies.
That's a great point. I learned that working I worked in a bank for a short period of time, and I remember there was this gentleman that walked into the branch, and I'm telling you, when you looked at him, you would have thought he had not a coin to his name. Okay, I was a personal banker. When this guy sat down and you looked up his accounts, millions. Okay, checking, checking, not investment, checking. Millions. All right.
Wow.
So, yeah, he wasn't concerned about jewelry. He wasn't you look at him and you would never know the amount of money that he has. And for me, that helped me a lot. And again, coming from Jodie, advice that I got from her, because there was a time where I lived in the mall. I went to the mall every single week. Every time I got paid, check dropped, I'm at the mall, and I spent at least $300 per trip, because that was my budget in my head, was $300 at the time, every mall trip.
So that's like $600 a month. That was a big shopping budget.
More than that.
Budget.
Sometimes more than that.
And at the time I was making pretty good money. And it was really sad, because at the end of working and looking at the amount of money that I made, I had absolutely nothing. I had nothing. I had no savings. I had no real liquid assets, like living paycheck to paycheck. It was a very scary time. Wanting to have the new shoes, new bags, that whole thing, going out, because now you got to wear the shit out. And then when you go out, you're spending more money between gas or going into a paid event, that whole thing. So I was just burning through coin, burning, but the people who I had around me at that time weren't necessarily either concerned about money or how they spend it. So once me and Jodie became friends and talking, her father worked for a huge financial institution, so I'm sure that helped her a lot growing up during the times that she was in her parents' home. I'm sure some of that rubbed off, but she talked to me a lot about, like, why are you doing this? I didn't have a passport when I met her. And she was someone who's big on travel, big on experiences, and not necessarily the latest bag or the latest shoe. So it was a different way of thinking. She made me go and get a passport. I did. Like, almost immediately. I had to go get a passport. That was one. Two, stop spending the way that you're spending. Stop buying all these stupid bags. You buying all that, you haven't been outside of the country. I was like, oh. Okay, you're right.
That was real life.
That was real life. And then this was at the time where the company that we worked for was, was looking like they were about to shut down. And it's like, oh my gosh, I was making all this money. This company is about to close. What do I have? Thankfully, I did have a 401k, but still, it was just like liquid, like cash checking savings was like the savings was non-existent. So another thing, start working on saving money. It's another thing that we talked about. And then eventually we left that job. So thankfully, I started to have these conversations with her and was open to the things that she said, and actually made some changes. We left the company around the same time. I traveled more with no job than I ever traveled a day in my life.
I think we did 6 countries one year.
Yes, we did. No job. How was I able to do that? So, and from there, I started to grow. I started to learn even more. I worked for another financial institution after that, and I took a lot of learnings from how I saw people managing their money, and used that to help me especially when it came to credit cards, knowing what type of credit card to pick, and if I'm going to pick this card, why they had to be a WIFM for me in order to use your credit. So it had to be meaningful. I worked on building my credit. Like even now, I'm at the point where I don't even really work, but however, I have streams of revenue. Every time I get a deposit, I get excited. I don't worry about my check. Like literally, like today I was looking at my account, I was like, oh my gosh, just went up. When did I get paid? Wow, that was 5 days ago.
That's real life.
Like that's real life. That's how it is. I don't worry. I have liquid assets. I have multiple savings accounts. I have investment accounts. I still haven't really
She's
learned
the perfect catch if you're looking for a sugar mama. Just saying.
Pause. The baby daddy used to call me sugar mama.
She's sugar mama bait.
So I learned. Just remodeled my home. paid it all out of pocket.
Top of the line shit too.
By myself.
Solamente.
With almost like no job.
No J.
But a lot of it had to do with being financially responsible. Yeah. So we wanted to bring on experts like, don't just listen to me. I got my advice from this girl.
Aww.
And it worked. It worked out. But you got to be open, okay? And in the beginning, it's going to be tough because it was tough for me.
Yeah.
It was really tough for me in the beginning when I first started because it's a new behavior and it's a change and it does take a lot. And you do have to be disciplined.
Yeah.
Very disciplined.
Yeah.
Old habits are hard to break.
Yeah.
So we have two experts here because I didn't want you to just hear it from us.
Right.
But the advice that I got from my friend worked. I would advise that you get around some people who are financially sound and learn some of those habits. It will rub off on you. Yeah. Just like people who maybe you want to be a business owner, try to find business owners in your circle so you can lean and learn from them. Be open.
Yes.
Be open to change. Be open to receive new information.
Listen, Bessie is dropping some coins on, like some golden nuggets on y'all.
I promise you this is just how I live.
Yeah.
It's just what I do.
Yeah.
I even had a blog, I think I mentioned this before, called Something to Learn, because I really feel like there is something to learn every single day if you're open. But beyond, just listening and writing down good notes, you got to take action. So
absolutely,
we have two financial experts here.
Yes.
I'm thankful that Nadege and Detrone decided to come on. Detrone?
Think of Transformer.
Detrone?
Detrone.
Detrone.
Yeah.
Detrone. I'm sorry.
You're putting an A in it. You're saying the.
Like, duh. Sorry.
Detrone.
Y'all you come from.
Yes.
Sorry, Detrone.
Detrone, you've been so patient while all the ladies are talking about love and hip hop and all. Housewives.
Any of those things. He does not watch any of those things.
No. So tell us a little about yourself. What is it that you do, and what are your thoughts about some of the things we've talked about?
Well, what do I do? So I'm a regional vice president with Primerica Financial Services. My partner and I have an office in Margate.
Okay.
And Nadege is actually one of our agents.
Oh.
And so I'll say up front, obviously we teach people how money works so they could make money, save money, get out of debt.
Okay.
We're always, I don't want to say hiring, but hiring, looking to train people
to
work in this industry, no experience required. In the conversations we've been having, I hear things and they're very common. And I hear some common mistakes also.
Okay.
And I'm not saying you made this mistake, but you talked about I have this job and the company's closing. What do I have? Thank God I have my 401k.
Right.
Yeah.
So a lot of people lean on the fact that I have this 401k. But if you're sitting down with me and we're having a consultation, you'll understand that this is the third out of 3 accounts that you need to have. So when you lose your job, this 401k you do not want to touch.
Right.
Because when you lose that job where you're fired or let go or quit, whatever, and you cash out that 401k, you have now created a taxable event. You've also now,
taxes.
So whatever you've been paid throughout the year, at what point of the year you get fired, you have that which you made plus the amount of your 401k. So now if you're black, there's probably a 75% chance that you don't have even $10,000 in your 401k because those are just the numbers. But let's say you're that outlier and you're doing good. You have $100,000 sitting in there, which in the long run is nothing. So now you've made $50,000 all year. You just cash out $100,000. So now when you file your taxes, here's $150,000 in income. So what marginal tax rate is that going to put you? Plus, you just gave 10% away to the IRS. Why should they get your money? You know what I mean?
Wow.
So those are common things that I see people do. And I've even been in a tax environment where someone, they're going to do their taxes and they have this piece of paper that it just came in the mail. And then the tax professional has to tell them, well, when did you cash this out? Why did you do that? Man, you just killed everything. No refund for you. You owe money.
Oh, wow.
It was like you need to go find some kids or something, or
open up a business.
go create a business.
Create an LLC.
Because you are, I guess. And this new tax plan we have with Trump, I gave the warning when it was happening. I say all the people who are W-2 employees, you're going to be SOL because you deduct nothing.
And I thought that this guy would have helped us. Now, you hear all these things about him, obviously not wanting to release his tax returns, but not having to pay taxes. Like, how do you fall into that where you're not paying taxes? I don't know.
How does that even happen?
How does that? Do you know?
Well, most high income individuals like that, they aren't receiving earned income. Mm-hmm. So the earned income is I work a job, we say poor people trade time for money. Mm-hmm. So little principles or whatever we go by. Mm-hmm. So you work a job, here 40 hours, 50 hours a week, this is my title, this is my position, how much I made. Okay, so that's earned income. Individuals who own businesses are paying themselves through the business, that's not earned income. Mm-hmm. Like say the LLC, for example. So if you're a partner in an LLC, that money that's passed on to you, that how you guys divide, that total income amongst yourselves, that's not considered earned income.
Right.
And then as a business, obviously, you can write off a lot of things.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And then from a tax perspective, talking about Donald Trump's level, he can pass along his need to pay taxes he can carry that loss. Like if he has a very bad year, he can carry that loss over for the next 5, 7, 10 years ahead. Mm-hmm. So even when he has positive years after, that negative loss years ago brings down what he has to pay. Wow. And he wipes out, a lot of what he would owe under normal circumstances. Then you have like Amazon in New York, they actually received a $129 million tax refund.
Right.
So but here you have them, but they go to the same thing Donald Trump did when he built his tower in New York. Mm-hmm. He's saying, hey, New York, me having my presence here makes your city now an international delight.
And creates this amount of jobs. I'll give this many people jobs in your city for this tax break.
Right, right. And now when all these foreign businesses come in and these foreigners come in, this is going to this is a source of revenue for your city.
Right.
So now give me this tax break, let me build this for free. Or else I'll take it down.
He's a G.
And all they do is create a bunch of low-paying jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They and of course, a bunch of jobs, but they're a bunch of low-paying jobs.
But there's that whole fight now to increase minimum wage because clearly we can afford it. Just wow. So what does it mean to be financially sound? What does that really mean?
So that's a broad question.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And if you ask, there's like 6 people here right now.
Don't be telling my business. Don't be telling my business, okay?
My bad.
We have an audience of 624.
My bad. I can't see the people in the stands that way. It's too dark.
He can't see y'all.
I can't see. But like everybody's going to have a different answer to that question. Okay. So it's sort of relative subjective. Okay. So what we do on all of our consultations is we start everything with an exercise to get the right context for financially sound for you.
Okay.
So in doing that, we find out what it is you want. Because again, Jodie didn't care about the purses, but she wanted to go to Tahiti.
Exactly.
And you wanted to have the bag.
Right.
So what do you want?
I want the bag and a trip.
So when do you need it? Because we're talking about planning.
Yeah.
And then outside of yourself, who do you need it for?
Right. Oh,
because
who do you need it for?
Who do you need it for? Because a lot of people have families, have children, have responsibilities, have dependents.
Right.
Etc. Right. So these are questions that people sort of think about independently every once in a while, but not, concrete, hard, and focused on it. And then what's the answer? And they definitely don't write it down.
Right.
So now this is how we're starting our conversation by identifying these things, and this probably just takes the most time out of the entire consultation. Everything else is, real fast.
Right.
Because people, for the first time, asking themselves that and coming up with an answer, and then when there's a couple involved, that back and forth between the two is like, and you guys are married?
She don't really know each other.
Was it married at first sight?
Right.
Because most people are not having these kind of conversations. So what you're saying is really specific to the individual, you yourself, your family, your wants, your needs, your desires. So it's about the individual. So what does it mean to be financially sound for you? You is an individual thing.
That's a good question.
But
if he were to ask you that question, what would your answer be?
Definitely meaning like the scope of who I need to.
What is financially sound for you?
For me,
for Wendy,
it'll probably be real simple. Is not worrying about money. I feel like that's literally. I just want to be okay. I want to know that I can, and this is very broad. Just take care of my children, take care of myself. Live the life that we want to live within reason. I'm not at a point where I don't want to ever have to tell my children no. We went to Walmart today for a basketball. We left with more than a basketball. Right. Jasim saw something. He was like, Mom, I would really love to have that. I was like, okay. I want to have that freedom and flexibility to not have to look at price tag. Not to say that I don't just buy whatever. But, you know, not worry, not have to say, oh gosh, this is not in the budget. Oh wait, I have to wait until I get paid before I can do that. If my spontaneous friend here says, hey, I just found a really great ticket to go to Cancun and we must book it right now. She's done that to me.
Those deals are usually
like I want to know that I can pay for my trip right now. You know, so that's just what it means to me. But I'm sure not as specific and fine-tuned and detailed as a financial planner would have laid out for me. So Detrone and or Nadege, want to make sure I say your names correctly. What should a person do? Like, where should they start? Like, how do you get started?
The foundation to any solid financial plan starts with life insurance.
Really?
Yes.
Gotta secure the bag.
Yes.
Life insurance protects your income. Think about it. You work to take care of who? Your kids.
Right.
So if something happens to you, you need to be able to replace your income. Economics is broken down two ways, micro and macro. Micro is for the individual, macro is for the whole. So we may all have goals and plans and all these aspirations, but we don't always live to see them through.
Right.
So let's say I'm alive, I save $100 a month for 5 years and then I pass away. My family gets $6,000.
Right.
But let's say I had a life insurance policy that I was paying into for $100 a month, and after 6 months of paying into it, I pass away. My family will then get a few $100,000 or maybe even $1 million, depending on the different factors.
Right.
Those are things that can change a family's legacy.
Yes.
Can pay off properties, put kids through schools, set up trust funds. That's how the cheapest way actually to create generational wealth. If you think about a lot of the conversation that's going on in the culture now with Nipsey Hussle passing away and the elections coming up and talking about reparations, if we want to change the trajectory of where Black people are, we have to start with that.
Absolutely.
I mean, how many times does someone pass away and we see a GoFundMe for them? And it's beyond the burial. What legacy are you leaving for your family?
Right.
I mean, the numbers and the studies show in 34 years, the net worth of Black households is going to be zero. But if we, in the macro aspect, if all of us as a whole, as a people, had life insurance policies, our net worth would skyrocket. We would have more to leave for our kids than simply
I don't think I've ever quite heard life insurance positioned that way.
Never positioned as legacy. You know, never positioned as,
that was
you know, how you change the future. Like I never thought of it that way.
Ever.
It's a building block. You know, you build your financial house, and that's really the foundation of that house. I mean, I have a lot of people who say to me, I can't afford a financial coach. And I say, you can't afford not to have one.
Wow.
You can't afford not to.
Right. If you can afford your hairstylist, if you can afford your nail appointment, you can afford that financial coach. I think that is definitely really important.
But it goes back to that, the fact that people will make sure that they get the things that they really want done. If something is really important to you, you're going to make sure that it gets done. So I think it's important that we help them or show them the importance of seeing the value in making this that important, so that they can start to make the decisions.
It should be a priority. It really should be a priority if you really want to change the way that you live. You got to figure out what's going
to make it connect for you.
You know? Absolutely. And then when you think about legacy, and as she talked about like ownership, like don't even make me start crying right now. Like that, I love that. So a financial coach, you mentioned people can't afford to not have one. So where do you find a financial coach? What are you looking for in a financial coach?
And cost.
You're looking for Nadege.
Hello.
Her telephone number is.
You better
you can contact her at.
Hey. So what you're looking for is a Haitian named Nadege. She speaks multiple languages.
Do you speak Creole?
Yes, I speak Creole.
French?
Yes.
Okay. I was just talking to my son about that today. I was like, my 9-year-old, you need to really look into learning another language. She was talking to me about one of his friends who speaks. He's like, can you believe she speaks French? I said, really? She was like, she takes French for herself. I said, I think, well, then maybe you should learn another language.
French.
Huh?
Didn't Shai speak French?
Yes, he did. But, you know, Ja didn't really get to pick up because he didn't talk to him in French or Creole as much as like maybe his sisters did with their nieces. So he really didn't teach it in that way. Yeah. But I was like, you know what, maybe you should.
It's hard when both parents don't
speak it. Yeah.
None of my kids speak another language.
Listen, really? When I'm around his family, I think his mom thinks that I understand Creole or French, because when she talks, I'm dying. I'm on the floor laughing. And then his sisters, like my sister, you know, with sisters, we always say sisters in love. They have to translate it. Yeah. What? That's what she sounds like. Yo, they're like, but you be laughing like you understand. I'm like, because it's funny. It sounds funny. So I was like, you know what? You need to speak.
It's about the tone and the inflection in her voice.
The tone and just, I'm talking about.
Gotta pay attention.
The last time we were at her house a couple of weeks ago, she was like, yo, you and Wendy just love the foolishness. I'm telling you, like, we were rolling on the ground. And I didn't know one word she was saying. So I told him, I said, look, you should probably learn because he's very enterprising. He has an enterprising type of mind. Because I said, you know, this will help you, you know, as you think about your business and your plans and what you want to do for the future to help you reach a larger clientele if you knew how to speak additional languages. Yes. So when you are looking for a financial coach, you want someone who is, you know, available to speak to you multiple languages. Yeah. That does help. It does. Hey.
And doesn't charge for the consultation.
Oh, and we're doing free consultation. Oh, wow. You guys might really want to holler at Nadege. So what are some tips?
How can they reach you real quickly? How can they reach you?
954.
Okay.
655. 6555.
Oh,
easiest number.
9.
We like that.
954 655
655
6555
6555.
Yes.
Oh. All right. Thank you. So holla at Nadege, y'all. Nadege. Okay. English, Creole, and French if you need it. Okay.
Gotcha.
And if she don't speak it, that's fine because we have apps for that, as Jacine told me. He said, Mom, even if I don't really learn the language, all I got to do is download an app and they can speak whatever language that they speak, and it'll tell me in English. So boom, I was like, boy, just the idea.
We use that in Colombia.
You just don't even want to. You don't even want. No, I don't have to. There's an app for that. I said, excuse me, then. Yeah. Whatever.
He's brilliant. That little boy is brilliant.
He is too much. But so give us some tips. So what are some little things that people can do to start saving? Because I really think it is important to. You've talked about, you know, that the life insurance and how important that is for people and leaving behind a legacy for them, their families. But what are some little things that people can do to save? There's and I meant to look up the rapper's name because Nadege asked me. This rapper that I follow, and he mentioned how he saves his dollar bills for that's his 401k plan. He's independent. He's out here. This is his business, and he said this is what he does for himself. Dollar bills, pretty simple, straightforward. He puts every dollar bill away and he doesn't spend it, and he encourages others who follow him to save. So what are some little things that people can do, or what would you suggest?
For me, the next step in your financial house, your brick of your house, is making sure that you have at least 3 to 6 months of your family's bills saved. When you went through your last, I'm sure it was a few employers ago, but you know they were closing, and you said at that time you realized, wow, I don't even have any savings.
Right.
And at that time you may have had to, I don't know the logistics, withdraw from your 401k, take a loan from your 401k. If you had what we call the emergency fund, which is the next step in your financial house, you would know that, okay, I have 3 to 6 months income until I get a new job, get back on my feet. That's money that's set aside that you're not worrying about gaining interest on. It's money that's set aside for emergencies. Right. It's an emergency, so you're not running up credit card debt when you have an emergency. So you and your partner or your spouse are not fighting now, because we know that's like the number one reason for divorce is financial. Fighting now because you have an emergencies. We use an analogy whenever we do a consultation, right? The 3 little pigs, you know, one of them built their house with straws, sticks, and bricks. And life is the big bad wolf. If you lose your job, you don't want life to come and huff and puff and blow your house down. You want a house built of bricks. So that way you have that money there.
Okay.
If something happens. It not just even lose your job, but like a girlfriend of mine was just complaining that she has to replace the refrigerator. Like, for example, my fridge in my house can't even like go on Twitter and stuff. My fridge costs $2,500.
Wow.
So if you have, a home and appliances, things like that, you don't want to have to always run to credit and run up credit debt every time something goes wrong in your household.
Right. Wow. Absolutely. And I learned the hard way when that job ended, because I was there for
magic, y'all. That's some black girl magic right there.
Isn't she?
Seriously,
all magic. And just the way that she articulates it, it really helps you.
I learned a lot from my fearless leader here. He puts a lot of time into our training.
I see. I see it very clearly, which is why you want someone like a Nadege as your financial coach.
Yes.
Because the way that she breaks it down in terms that are easy for you to understand. Not only do you understand it, you can visualize. I'm like, damn, I don't want my house to blow down. I really don't. I need the bricks. Like, I can almost feel it. I'm like, no, I need bricks. I need bricks. What do I do, Nadege? How do I get these bricks? So I definitely love the analogies. It really helps to bring everything together, and it helps to make sense.
She got me zoned out here for like I feel like I need to reassess my entire life.
Right?
We might need to do a consultation.
Clearly, a free consultation at that. So thank you. So definitely saving is important, and as she mentioned, I learned a lot when I left that employer, and I learned the importance of having, as she said, a backup fund. And I had to rely on my 401k at that point, because I didn't, have an advisor like a Nadege to help me build those bricks. Now, I happened to be laid off again, and my most recent employer. Thankfully, I was prepared for this one.
At least you learned.
I learned. Time, right? I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I learned, because let me tell you something.
She went out fighting.
Okay. Hello.
I can't even snatching edges.
Listen, I can't even talk about everything, because they had these. I signed paperwork. Okay. Okay. My shit was tight when I left. I learned a lot, and that's why I've been chilling since then. But definitely learned a lot, especially about saving and making the most of the amount of money that I was making at the time too, because I did really well there, and it helped a lot. Too, with keeping things in perspective, but I was definitely better prepared for that layoff after learning from my mistakes. So anything else? Any other tips or suggestions? Are there any recommendations on
for me,
investments?
Couple of, just one of the things, this quote that I really wanted to say, because I know whenever I say it resonates with people, but there's a quote out there, and it goes that people will buy things that they don't need with money that they don't have to impress people that they don't like. And that's the reality. That's where we are now as a culture, as a people.
Eva's doing on the show, probably.
Yeah, exactly.
She doesn't even like those girls.
Right? Exactly. And I think one of the things that I feel was the best thing that you did, or that you took away from our conversations, is releasing yourself of situations and people that make you, that draws you to those bad decisions, really reassessing that. But this was amazing.
Yeah.
This was amazing. Like, I learned so much. I definitely want to holler at you, talk and see what we can do, because I think I can make some changes, because we about to do some big things, and we want to make sure that shit is right.
Sound.
Yeah.
Because I really do want to learn more about investment. I don't do much of my investment account. I don't do nothing with it. Honestly,
listen, I have stocks with Facebook and Bank of America, and I don't even know how to get into it.
My mama is my financial advisor. Before I make a huge financial decision, okay, mom, this is what they talking about. Even the other day I was about to buy an insurance package. She's like, okay, so you ready to close? I said, no, I have to call my mom first. So after I speak with my mom, I will call you back. She's my advisor. Thank you. And go over rates and things with her, because she's really, really good at investments. She retired at 50, owns her home totally paid off because of stocks and what she's been able to do with them. I just never had a chance to kind of sit down and was like, I'm ready though. how to flip this money, and really make it grow. So I think that is also important that people know how to maximize even their employer 401ks, learn how to maximize them.
Yeah.
And
really playing with that.
Exactly. So it was really great having you guys on. Yeah. Thank you for coming and helping us get through the shade of it all.
The shade
of it all. You know, we turn the shade.
One thing about the 401k?
You can. Yeah, of course.
So it's not that they don't work, but again, people, you can't hit a target you can't see.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So an understanding, 401k is a retirement plan.
Yep.
Okay, well, how much do you need to retire?
Mm-hmm.
So one of the exercises that we do, one of the questions we ask people, let's assume you retired at 67 and you die at 86, because it's just that's the life expectancy right now in the U.S.
Right.
And we use 67 because if you wait until 67 to get your Social Security, that's when you get 100% of your Social Security.
Mm-hmm.
But if you start withdrawing at 62, you are locked into a 30% discount reduction permanently. Mm-hmm. However, if you have your own money and you can pull it off Social Security past 67, every year you wait, it actually goes up 8%.
Wow.
So that's how you can look at Social Security as just a faucet. Mm-hmm. So let's say 67, you're going to work until then, boom, and you're going to die at 86 or 87 or 90 or 95. So we're talking about 19, 20, 25 years.
Right.
How much money does it take to last for 25 years? Because
Wow.
everybody can look at a car or look at a thing and say, this is how much this costs.
Right.
But
not gonna be
wealth
the
is
same
measured in
10 years.
time.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're talking about 20 years, and you're talking about
It's a long time.
a gallon of milk going up to $10.42.
Yeah.
You have to factor in inflation.
Yeah.
And so you're thinking about retirement, the floor that's set is you want to live on, retirement's not an age, it's an income.
Right.
So your retirement floor should be 80% of your income, your working income, which you've been used to making.
Right.
So now, depending on your age and how much you're making, and then how long this lasts, you got to factor in inflation. That's how we figure how much you really need. So I was with a younger person recently, 24 years old, making $60,000, and said, okay, if you wanted to maintain just that income from 67 to such and such, I just asked them, well, how much do you think you need? I'm just curious, Wendy and Jodie, how much do you think you need?
I'm going to say 500,000.
I'm going to say 3 million.
2.7 million.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
2.7
No wonder you listen to Jodie, Wendy.
See?
2.7 million.
Yeah.
And so now you talked about the 401k, going back to that. So I broke it down for him. I said, okay, to get to this 2.7 million, you can put away $616 a month. Now you can do it all through your 401k, but then you're going to pay taxes on your whole $2.7 million dollars. So I guess that's okay if you got $2.7 million. I say, however, outside of your 401k, you can put 90% of the money you need away there, and it's still used for retirement, and don't pay no taxes on any of it. So now, which sounds better? Having $2.7 million and paying taxes on 100% of it, or having $2.7 million and paying taxes on 10% of it?
I mean,
that's
a rhetorical question.
Right. So these are the things so it's not even about how I maximize the 401k, because maxing that out might not be in your best interest. Now, you want to get whatever the employer matches, that's free money.
Right.
But that really might be the least you want to do.
Right.
Depending on your circumstance and where you are.
Right.
Because
you may need
got to
do
think
more.
about the taxes.
Right.
Down the road. Especially when you still have to pay your Medicare Part D premiums and deductibles, etc., and that only covers 60% of your healthcare expenses anyway. And then at that age, healthcare is number one expense. It's the number one cause of bankruptcy.
Right.
And people dealing with chronic conditions. If you're 65, you probably got at least one. If you're 75, you got at least two.
And nowadays, the way cancer is knocking people down, you literally have to prepare for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it is. And when you think and you hear these large numbers, like, 3.7?
He was 2.7.
$2.7 million?
And he's 24.
Really, right.
So if I was talking to somebody that's 44,
ooh,
and they had next to nothing in their 401k,
y'all,
it would be a lot more than $600 that person would need to try to close
y'all might
that.
be living on the streets.
Close that gap, close that distance. And this
My
is the
anxiety,
thing.
I'm like, I can't
Don't
Listen, you thought you were good.
you know, how time is such a money multiplier. And I'll end with this because he's young and I'm used to dealing with young people. You say something to them that makes sense, but, you know, unless it came out of, you know, Travis Scott's mouth,
yeah,
you know, they're really not on, you know, trying to run with it.
Right.
So I said, now you can take this information and do nothing, but just at the same time, $100 right now, if you just put away $100 a month from now until you'd have $453,000. Okay. I said, if you wait 1 year to start doing $100 a month, you're going to have $417,000. So for you to save $1,200 for the year, to keep your $100 to sit up here and do whatever it is you want with it, you just lost $37,000.
Yeah.
Because you wanted to procrastinate. Procrastination is the biggest source of credit there is.
Wow.
Because it causes people to borrow time that they don't have, to delay things that they should be doing now. And the cost is just complacency.
Amen. Guys, we just went to financial church.
Hello.
Like, I've been saved, sanctified, Holy Ghost filled, water baptized.
Hello.
Financial freedom is mine. I found in the life. Honestly.
Oh my God.
You guys are amazing.
Wow.
And when I tell you, I thought I knew some things before, like, I'm just like, my mind is blown right now. So I really hope that this was helpful for
you guys.
A lot of people, especially people who are unsure of where to start. You don't have to have the answers. That's why you have experts who you can talk to and work through these things with, because it is an individual thing. And as Nadege said, you have to look at the micro and macro levels and, you know how to individualize your plan, as Detrone had thought. Detrone. I'm sorry, I knew I was gonna mess his name up, and I was over there saying it like in my head.
You still fucked it up.
And I still fucked it up.
Damn
it. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Detrone. You know what, Detrone? I want to say something regarding to what you said, because I want to make sure people really heard this point. Because there are a lot of us out here that we feel that if we have a good 401k that we're secure. But I think in what you stated, you are dispelling that theory and really forcing people to reassess that pretty much archaic ideology of what your safe is when you retire, which is by putting it all in. Is that what you just did?
Well, people need to understand how much they need.
Much they need.
Okay.
Right.
So 401k is, let's imagine you're playing golf.
Right.
So based on your age, your income, and how long you want this money to last, we call that your financial independence number.
Right.
So that's the hole that you're aiming for.
Right.
Your 401k is just one of your golf clubs.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean?
And why I wanted to just kind of bring that up again is because that's why I think you guys really need to reach out to these people. Because we are all right now feeling that we're good, because a lot of us really do rely on 401k and not really utilizing it or maximizing it or understanding it. So this was amazing. Yeah. This was dope. Yeah. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for making this happen.
Yes. No,
this was good.
I'm glad she said, hey, we will work this out. And thank you guys so much for coming on and teaching and schooling people about what it means to be have some financial freedom, some flexibility.
Where can they find us?
So, guys, don't forget, find us on YouTube, on Google Podcasts, SoundCloud. I'm like, where are we? We everywhere, y'all. Every single Thursday, 8:30 p.m.
This has been a pleasure, guys. Thanks again for watching Podcast Deez Nuts.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, guys.